Well, hello. Let's use FreeCAD and an old curtain rod to build something. Like the simple camera rig for overhead shots. Okay, let's start off by creating the wall mount, the part that we'll be screwing onto the wall. Let's just center it around the horizontal axis and give it a length of 160 millimeters. And maybe 30 millimeters wide will be good enough for us. And let's just pat it. Okay, let's create some kind of a dovetail shape on the top of the thing. Get some reference lines to be able to align it in the center. Yeah, let's constrain it along the vertical axis like that. Now we'll just put some random dimensions, 22. Like that. Let's just pocket, not all the way down, because otherwise it would fall, the other piece would fall right through it. So let's go maybe 120 down, like that. So the next thing is to create some room for the screws. So we'll chop off a piece from both ends. Just make some reference lines and then make the sketch. And the only important dimension here is pretty much the thickness of the piece that we're leaving. So let's constrain that with 8 millimeters. And then just pad right through it. Let's select through all. Okay. And now we'll have to mirror the pad to the other end of the piece. Let's just fillet these edges for niceness. Okay, so let's create the hole itself. Just add a circle on the vertical line, and then we need to, let's make it 9 millimeters. But we need to center it vertically as well. So one way to do it is to add a reference line, horizontal reference line, and then get some external references and then just align it like that between those points. So let's pocket it, and then we can just create a smaller hole in the middle without a sketch. Let's set that to 4 millimeters. 4. Yeah, now it's time to mirror it along that plane. Well, actually it very much isn't. We need to fillet the holes first, so that we don't have to do that 100 times. Yeah, and now we can mirror all the operations along that plane. And then we can also take the chance to add some more fillets around the object, and then I think this piece is done. Yeah, there we go. It's not pretty, but it works. Okay, so on to the next part. Let's call it the bar holder, or yeah, rod holder, whatever. And let's hide the first part and create a sub-shape binder so that we can use the first part as a reference to all the critical dimensions of the second part, so that these two will fit together nicely. So we'll start off by taking the general width and height of the first part by selecting the appropriate edges. The sides and the bottom will do just fine, so that we have something to go off of when we're creating the holes for the bar. So the shape I'm going for here is completely unnecessary. I'm thinking of creating a bit of a more curved shape to make the part slightly more interesting and maybe to save a bit of plastic. But yeah, let's see how it goes. I'm having some difficulties aligning the points to the right edges here, but sometimes it's a bit finicky. Let's just use the mirror on this line as well, and again make sure that the points are actually connected to the arcs. And then we can cut off the part of the circle that we don't want, like so. Yeah, now we can draw the circles for the holes. Or should we pad it first? Yeah, let's pad it. There we go. So now it's time to create the holes for the rods. So we can easily just find the center point by using the outer arc as a reference, and then just pad the holes, or sorry, pocket the holes. And then we can use the female part of the dovetail from the reference to the wall mount and draw the male side using those references. There is a branch of FreeCAD called Link Stage where you can actually when you select the external geometry, you can actually select them to be defining geometry. So that way you can just select them and do a pad immediately, rather than drawing over the existing lines. And then also an additional feature is that you can pad with an offset, because in this case we need the male part to be slightly smaller. So now we are forced to redraw the whole thing and add some margin here, 0.2 millimeters in this case. But yeah, with the link stage branch you can actually do all of this in one go. Just select the external geometry and make a pad with an offset, and you're done without any redrawing of the same shapes. So I hope this will come to the main branch of FreeCAD eventually. But for now, let's just do it like this. Okay, let's pad it and see how it looks. Maybe that's a bit too much. Let's make it a bit shorter, like that. I don't like that rough edge here, so maybe we can extend the arc a bit to make it look a bit more refined. So let's hide the wall mount reference and create a new sketch. Put it on cross-section view, and then add the references, and then we'll just add some walls straight up to the arc, and that will be the shape we are going after. Again, it would be nice if you could just use the external geometry as defining lines rather than having to draw over them like this, but that's the way it works right now. Oh, these are connected. That. Whoops, that should be vertical. There we go. And now we can... Yeah, maybe this needs to be fixed as well. Okay, and now we can pad the final part here, and we can select pad up to face to get it extended all the way up to the edge. And there we go. The first two interconnected parts are done. Let's move over to the camera holder itself, which is gonna be very simple. Okay, let's create a new part. It's called camera holder, and begin with the same thing again. 2 circles, make them equal, center them around the horizontal axis. I add the inner diameter of 20.5, even though the rods are 20 millimeters. I'm thinking that because there's 2 rods and that they might not be perfectly straight, there is a risk that they might be binding if they are too small. So I hope this is gonna be good for this purpose. Nothing fancy going on here. I think 5 millimeters is gonna be more than enough for this part. In terms of width, it's gonna save some plastic as well, I guess. And let's just grab these edges and make a fillet to make the part look more like the end pieces. Let's just choose something that looks good enough, like this. And now we'll just create a hole for the tripod legs. So I measured the legs to be around 30 millimeters in one direction and 35 in the other. So I'm gonna use those as my measurements for this triangle. Yeah, then let's just pad right through it. And again, select a few faces and make a small fillet to smooth out the edges a bit. There we go. Done. So I have this old desk lamp. So let's make a lamp holder for it so that we will get some overhead lighting as well. So once again, let's start off with the same thing that we have done a few times already. And then for some random reason, let's connect them with an arc like this instead, rather than the straight lines that we did the last time and then using a fillet. I have really no special plan here. I'm just wanting to get it over with. So just connecting the arcs together with a tangent. And then I need some kind of a I don't know, a box or something for the hole in which the lamp will fit in. So it looks really bad, but some fillets will at least make it slightly less bad. Like I said, I don't really have any intentions of making it look nice. I just want to make it work. Now we just need the hole for the pin from the lamp. And let's just make sure that the hole doesn't cut into the rod hole. So, oops, that's diameter. It should be radius, like that. And now we can pocket it. And it should stay clear from the other hole for the rod. And then we can use this line to make it centered. Like so. And a small fillet, and then maybe fillets on the sides. And this part is done as well. And now we have all the pieces we need for our camera rig. Let's put it all together. If you would like to see me use this setup in a future video, I think I need a bit of help from you guys. The thing is that for the last almost 3 years or so, I've been creating one YouTube account a day in order to bring this number up to over 1,000, which for some reason is important in the YouTubing world. This is pretty painful and it takes a lot of time. But I recently discovered that you, the viewers have some kind of a button on your devices that you can use to bring this number up just by pressing it. So from now on, if this number is bigger than it was previously, in this case at least 1002, I will release another video. Thank you.